Plays.
Oh, Clay Plays.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good one. That's hot right now.
a lot of the gays are playing that too.
Are the gays
I'm on
playing
like
it?
Gamers, like GAYMERS.
I love it.
Hey.
Facebook group, yeah, and because the skin suits, I'm sure, are really nice on there.
They are.
Yeah.
Alrighty, shall we?
Let's do it.
Guys, welcome back to Jacob V Weekly. We want to start like we do every week by reminding you to check out Caddyshack of Hamel, Illinois, CATTYIL.org. The only way to support this show financially is patreon.com/JacobV. That's patreon.com/JACOBVI. We're going to jump right in today because we have a very special guest. You can see everyone wants to be behind the desk this morning because we are joined remotely by a friend of a friend, Miss Taylor Gunner.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm even better now that I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
so excited to hang out with some awesome people today that are from the same place I'm from. So I'm pumped. I've never been happier.
So you are from St. Louis?
I am.
Okay, because I know you lived in California for a bit. I should.
Me?
Emma is back because Emma is our mutual friend, right? Emma has done this show a handful of times with me, and we've always talked about trying to reach out to people we don't necessarily know so intimately to have on the show. And then she mentioned, of course, you. So I should say I guess we get our hair done at the same place.
We do.
Is the big idea. So St. Louis is a big part of the focus for the show, and the thing I was attracted to with the idea of this conversation was that you are a St. Louis native and you're an independent content creator and often of the adult variety, but not exclusively, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. I do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I feel like.
So, I think as far as like where to introduce you from for the audience, where do you like to have people start? Like, what do you lead with?
I don't know. What do you like?
Because
You know what? You find me one place and then you just skip, hop, and jump all over and find me somewhere else.
That's awesome.
So we were just talking before we started. You were streaming Marvel Rivals on Twitch. Where do people find you on Twitch?
I'm on twitch.tv/Taylor Gunner. All my socials are on taylorgunner.com.
That's so easy. I didn't know if that was going to be like not weird enough of a name to do that, because there could have been a Taylor Gunner that was like maybe like a gun person.
Sure.
And maybe even a general.
It is copywritten now, though.
Like,
Am I right?
Because Jamie Foxx, like you can't, if you didn't know, if you've never heard of Jamie Foxx, is like,
Sure.
you know what I mean? Like Taylor Gunner could be like, he could be a gym guy. He could be like, I was in the Marine press. Do you spend a lot of time at the gym, Taylor?
Yes.
No.
Me neither.
No, your thighs don't jiggle like mine do if you go to the gym.
I paid for
one right now, but I don't go. Yeah.
Really? That'll stop all that? It's like the offering, because like I don't contribute to a church. I don't do any tithing, and so it's like, look, I hold a church. I don't do any tithing, and so it's like, look, I hold a space. I hold a locker at a gym that I've never seen. It's like when I hold a locker at a gym that I've never seen. It's like when rich people own a horse, but really just on paper.
Sure.
They're not taking care of the horse. They're like, I own a horse. He lives in Montana. He races a couple times a year. I've never met him. Taylor, do you own a horse?
Sponsor a penguin? No, I sponsor. I mean, I don't. No, I don't do anything like that. I would love to sponsor a penguin, though. That'd make me feel good.
Oh, you can sponsor a
penguin.
penguin.
Is good. That's the thing too. If I could like adopt something that lives somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Like a
it's like you
planet?
get to feel good about it.
Didn't you do that for your dad for Christmas?
I did. I paid for a girl in Uganda to go to school.
Oh, that's cool.
On behalf of your father.
For my father.
Yeah.
See, that's cool.
He never brought it up again, so I don't know.
I'm sure he's touched. I'm sure he's really touched. Yeah.
I'm horrible at gift giving. So there are some major points I wanted to definitely make sure we touch on today, and I sent you over some of those. But I guess we should kind of start, because we're doing long form here today, at the beginning. So professionally, you're a content creator. You're a adult film actress and producer. And
Sorry, we're Catholic. It's hard to say the words.
We're Catholic.
I
and
know.
queer,
We're
so
raised Catholic, and so
I
it's
grew
hard
up
to get it
Catholic
out.
too.
See?
That's
all
why
in the
I ended up
family.
here. No, I'm just
Yeah.
joking.
So what's the nomenclature that we feel like empowered to use for you?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. There's like, it's really weird because I kind of do all the things. So when you start to like go into adult content creation, there's like the content creators who do like OnlyFans, Fansly, Loyal Fans, Slushy, stuff like that. And then you have like the people that do mainstream porn, and those are the porn stars. And then you have the cammers that do streaming, who are the cam girls. But like, I'm this weird trifecta that like I said, I'm kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
So I mean, whatever you want to call me is fine.
An artist?
I do all
Can I call you
of
an
it.
artist and a performer?
Yeah, you can call me like an adult content creator, an adult artist,
Cool.
whatever.
Because I don't have a problem with any of those terms. I never want to be like disrespectful. But the thing that's so interesting to me is that you're allowed to do all three of those kind of avenues. Do you ever feel like you get like pressured out of more mainstream stuff if you're doing independent stuff, or is it not like that anymore?
No, I would say like it's just very different because you have a lot of like mainstream creators that don't really handle their own social medias, or they don't handle their
business. They don't handle their business.
They don't stand on it. They don't
stand. No.
Yeah, that'd be great if we flipped into that all of a sudden. I'm sorry.
Right? No, but it's interesting because you have some that do like mainstream and then they don't really care about social media, so they just kind of go, they film their scene and they make their bag and then they leave. And then on the flip side, you have content creators that like to make all their own content and they handle their social media, but they don't know how to do like mainstream. But I mean, I am very lucky that I am in both. I will say that I feel like I have a lot more creative freedom when it comes to my things that I produce myself. Because basically when I do mainstream, they're like, look at you, giant rack, you're a MILF today. And I'm like, oh God, that's so creative. Who did that? Back in the washing machine.
Yeah.
But like, my own stuff, it's not like that. Like I like to create a lot of really cool stuff on my own. So it's just,
that's so
kind
cool.
of,
Well, and you and I talked about too, like going overseas to work and how different that is there compared to the mainstream here. And so if you could touch on
Can you tell me about that? I would love to hear about that.
Yeah, no. So I actually shot my first, and that's also something that's different. I shot my very first mainstream set in Prague.
Oh, I love that.
And it was so cool. Yeah, it was very different. I pretty much was the only person that spoke fluent English on set besides one other person. But as far as the actors went for the talent and stuff, but it was really nice over there because they treated me with a lot of respect and they were really excited to have me there. And none of them were like mommy content. And then I came to the United States and everything for me was mommy content. Like content. And then I came to the United States and everything for me was mommy content.
Why do you feel like that? Old. I didn't know if it was like an age thing, because like
no,
you don't look old enough to be somebody's mother that would be old enough to also be in an adult film.
Literally.
You know what I mean? So, and she's my young stepmom. My dad married a never wasn't, but he's never around. Like I get the narrative. I mean, from what I've heard, people describe to me.
Right. Or like the hot mom next
that I've never
door.
watched.
Or like the hot mom next door.
Right.
Yeah, like you're not like 17 and a half.
Well, the thing is that I've done like scenes with people that are the same age as me, but since they're like 98 pounds, petite, small, they're teen, and I'm not because I'm curvier. I also think that I kind of, the way I speak, probably like, at least that's what like my husband will tell me. He'll be like, dude, it's because of the way you talk. Because I do talk very like intelligent, I guess, like emotionally aware of my surroundings and stuff. And I'm very, I went to school and stuff. I guess I don't really know. It might be the Marine Corps in me that I'm like, you better sit the fuck down and clean your room. And they're like, oh my God, give me more. And I'm like, I don't want to. Like,
What would your character be? Like you say, you produce your own stuff as well.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask. So do you deviate away from that for your own stuff?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have never I've made one video. It was like a stepmom video, but it was like a solo, just raw, genuine content that I'm actually like just enjoying myself with a partner type thing. Or I go the complete other aspect and it is partner type thing. Usually create the other aspect and it is like a full acting scenario, and I make play. And my I love content creators.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times we are cosplay creators. But a lot of the times Comic-Con fucking and are always just trying to push out the most content that we can. And so you'll see people that are like, oh, I have a new cosplay thing. But it's literally just like a bunch of people from Comic-Con fucking in a hotel room. And like, I hate that. 'Cause I'm like,
You hate that because it's lazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. No, sorry. That's my favorite. The thing I was going to say is that crossover happened naturally, I'm assuming, because they involve a lot of the same preparation for you, and that but also then you're probably appealing to your own personal interests and involving yourself in the cosplay thing. You're an award-winning cosplayer, I understand.
Nearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, is there a lot of crossover for you in that community? And do you find that there's an appreciation for, like you're saying, adding an elevated story to the content that's not just they're all in the same place?
I would say so, yeah. I think a lot of my cosplays and films like that I've created, I've always gotten a lot of good feedback that they really like. You know, I recreated the entire comic book of actually line for line backgrounds of like Spider-Man, Mary Jane, and Black Cat having a threesome that he fantasized about. This is canon in the comic books. I recreated the entire thing. I recreated like a post a lot.
Yeah, if you could drop me the link to that.
Yes. Send you a Dropbox thing.
When you were describing it, it was like the fans are going to be screaming, "Drop the link!"
Yeah.
And, that because Spider-Man is so hot right now,
So hot.
and that body tight suit. It's just like, I mean, it's a shame that they don't do that themselves. Do you think that's coming? Do you think there's going to be like we saw like Fortnite was like at first like the anti. Big like expensive game thing because it was free to play, but now they have all the licenses for everything. They have Dragon Ball Z and they have
is Marvel
Star Wars.
Rivals, is that free?
Star Wars, yeah.
I'm sure there's a free version of Marvel Rivals. I'm sure the BR is free.
Marvel Rivals is free. You just gotta pay for
'Cause that's the new
upgraded
thing.
skins.
Is there a
cool.
point where Disney is going to say, "Listen, what if we made the official canonized Iron Man experience?" What I mean,
I would buy it.
that's the thing. I mean,
Whatever it is.
because I was thinking, like at Disney, you could pay like $400 for a key that you put in these things around the park just so they light up. Like that's fun. But like, what if?
Like if you're staying in Tony Stark's penthouse for a weekend.
Yeah. That'd be a good one for Disney Dubai.
Or I mean, how long
How long until Disney invests in pornography?
That's what I'm saying.
What that question is.
That's what I'm saying.
How long until they publicly say that?
Right.
I feel like somebody's already investing somewhere.
There's a shell corporation somewhere because there's content that you can make completely for free, and that people can access completely for free, and people can but there's obviously still a huge market for the elevated quality like we're talking about. So I'm just thinking of, it used to be like gambling. People used to go to prison for sports betting, and now everything is owned by sports betting. And you know what I mean? And so pornography used to be this huge taboo thing that is now completely free to an extent and all over the place.
Well, you have to make it legal. You have to make it legal first.
Okay, now this is something I definitely
legal and
want to
unionized, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So
Endays.
Let me leave you that question to answer before I follow it up with the other one I just thought of.
What was the question?
Taylor, so you think there's already mainstream investment in that industry? I'm just thinking like officially, like the content is the idea.
The commercialization of porn.
Do you ever get any problems with that? If you do a Spider-Man scene, does anyone get mad and say, "Hey, you can't do Spider-Man"?
I get this question all the time because I do a lot of cosplay and I do a lot of pretending to be other people. Yeah. But to me, if Disney sends me a cease and desist, I already fucking won. Disney watched my porn.
Yeah.
You know, like,
That's the
you
thing.
know, like
I'm excited now that my work is on film.
Yeah, that's true too.
It is.
My wife's hair is purple.
Your work's been published. Like, yeah.
That's kind of great. I just noticed because I guess that means Emma did your beautiful red hair that we're looking at.
She did.
It's gorgeous.
My wife's hair is purple, and that's so funny that it's in the same
like Starfire
place.
and Raven.
In the same.
Everybody gets their hair done by me. You know?
So, because that's Michelle Visage said that she knew she made it when Madonna sent her a cease and desist letter, like in the 80s, because she was doing a Madonna show, and Madonna was like
Madonna knows who I am.
You're doing too good of a Madonna show. You have to quit doing your Madonna show because I'm Madonna. So Spider-Man, Walt Disney could come out of the ice and say, Taylor, cut it out. But then he knows about you, and that's like, then the battle is won. And then you could just do the book tour of Walt Disney told me to stop.
I would love that. I mean, I remember the first time that I ever felt like maybe something cool was happening is the ministry. It was like the not the president, but like the Ministry of Indonesia had sent me a message. They had sent me an email through Twitter. Like Twitter had messaged me, and they told me your content is no longer allowed to be shown in Indonesia because the minister has forbidden it. And I was like, damn, the minister got off to me on the internet. Like,
you specifically? That's the thing that's so crazy. It's like, I did want to talk about that.
And I was happy about it.
Yeah.
Well, sure. I mean, it's got to be, because that's the thing. It's not like you just signed a contract and you acted in a thing and you just wait around. You know, you are kind of with your content the whole way through. You have to conceptualize it and produce it and then market it. Before we get more into that process, because I definitely want to, I want to talk about like legislation and like and that kind of thing. Is there more of a threat of a pornography ban than there used to be? And is that something you really worry about? Absolutely.
I worry about it all the time. I mean, I've only been doing this job. I haven't been doing it very long. I've been full-time adult content creator for about 4 years. And I'm telling you, the amount of the war on porn is so much more prevalent and so much less discussed somehow than it was even 2 years ago. I mean, it's just fucking crazy. Like, the problem is that a lot of legislation that is going out right now, they're calling it like a mental health crisis. Like, sexuality has never been a mental health crisis, okay? In any way that you want to take that, it's fucking not, all right? You're not, but the problem is that they are disguising this mental health crisis and this war on pornography as trying to like cleanse society right now by doing like age verification and stuff like that. But the problem is that the age verification is not genuinely to protect minors. It is anti-sex work, and that's what it is. But they're guising it as something else. But I mean, even just in general, I feel like being a sex worker, I was trying to buy a house here, and my bank that I have been with for 15 years told me that I did not qualify for a house, even though I had more than enough of the finances to qualify, and they would not tell me why. They would not approve me. They would not continue. They said, we will not talk about your employment, and then just...
Wow.
That's not legal.
Right.
That's crazy.
But they don't care because sex workers, there are a lot of people out there that feel like sex workers do not deserve the same rights as other people for some reason. Even though there's been sex work, it is the longest profession that's ever been.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, what the hell, you know?
It took us 24 minutes to get to that point, but I knew it was going to happen.
Exactly.
And so I get so aggravated because people that are... We always use this term. We talk about people that are sex positive, like people that are okay talking about these things and want people to be empowered and whatnot. But the people we're talking about right now are actually people that I would call sex negative, and people that
publicly, I would say privately, they're more disgusting than most people.
I would also argue, to add on to what you were saying, is that they also want you to have to sign in to your account on whatever platform so they can farm your metadata. And sell that and put it in the Palantir machine so they can know exactly what you like and when you watch it. but we can come back to that. But,
it's a lot of tracking. Yeah.
But I mean, for individual people that advocate for that kind of behavior, so like normal citizens, somebody that might work at the bank you're talking about or live in your neighborhood who has a problem with you or your career choice or whatever, where do you think that energy comes from for them?
Lack of education.
Yeah.
I think it's lack of education about yourself, education about the sexual, like, nature of human beings. And I think a lot of it is probably there's like nature and nurture at the end of the day. You know, the way that you're raised, whether you change the things that you whether you veer off from the way you're raised or whether you follow that path, it's still to some degree it sits inside you to some degree. And sometimes people don't experiment or they don't try to learn things about themselves because they don't want to disappoint others, and so they let it affect them.
Right? I mean,
there's a lot of just internal shame.
Especially, I mean, it's not a common, especially here in the Midwest or even down in the South.
Oh, for sure.
It's not something that's discussed that often.
No.
And I've always been very sex positive. You've known me for 20 years. I always think like, why not talk about it? Like, if you're having issues and I can help you by just having a conversation. And there are things, and if sex is not a priority to you, then that doesn't apply to you. But why do you care if somebody's making money off of something and you're enjoying it?
Right. And at the end of the day, like, as a content creator, I do a lot of the same things other people do. Just I have a camera in the corner of my bedroom and other people don't.
And perfect proportions. You know?
It's like
I was just noticing it's great lighting in there. You were streaming today.
Lighting.
You were saying the lighting in there.
I'm so jealous of your lighting.
Your lighting right now.
Thank you.
I mean, I got this disco ball on clearance from China. And can I ask what camera you're using right now?
Yeah, I'm using an Elgato Pro HD cam.
Oh.
Right now. Yeah.
I'm going to order 4 of those.
You should. They're fantastic.
You can absolutely send links to whatever
we're going to put,
Yes.
I got to figure out how to set up sponsored links. This episode's going to take me forever with all the links. And so has the active, like, state by state bans, has that affected like your day-to-day process of selling your content at all?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's affected like my subscription rate, my click-through rates for sure.
Wow.
I know it's affected Pornhub. The thing is, it's weird is like everybody hates porn, but Pornhub actually takes up, last that we looked at the analytics, it takes up 60% of all internet traffic. Not just porn, all internet traffic. But you mean to tell me that the 40% that are making the laws are the only ones that don't like porn?
Yeah.
Right. They're just like...
And that's Pornhub. That's not X videos,
crazy.
X Hamster, OnlyFans, Fansly, XNXX. Yeah, right.
It's
That's
one
not
I've heard
Not
of.
that we've ever.
It's one I've heard
Not
of.
that we've ever like looked at that stuff, but that's not including any of that. That's literally one website taking up 60% of all traffic out there. But for some reason, people are upset and they want to get rid of it. Something's weird.
Yeah. Do you ever have a problem of like you're identifying that a specific person who's really anti your line of work is also like consuming a bunch of it?
No, they're still paying for dinner. Like, if you hate me that much, so you're willing to give me money to tell me you hate me, then like.
No, but that's what I mean. But have you ever just like noticed that like somebody subscribes who is otherwise like publicly like very like anti?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
Like,
this is nothing new, right? It's
No,
like
under the
as far
sun.
as just like people living in shame that are secretly doing shit on the other side. Like, it's a tale as old as time.
Yeah.
Oh, have you ever done a Beauty and the Beast?
Ooh.
no, not yet. I haven't done any Disney princess yet. I do have a Snow White sitting in the closet right now. That's pretty cool, but I haven't
Coming soon
finished
from
it.
Taylor Gunner. Snow White.
I'm there for the
White.
Beast. I want to see the Beast.
Snow White After Dark is what we'll call it. That's just we're just spitballing here. You can have that one. I'm excited just to see
Thank
the final
you.
product. The Beauty and the Beast is my wife's favorite.
What was your newest cosplay that you just dropped yesterday? I saw some videos you posted, and I just inherently like them, and then scroll on. But
Roxanne from a Goofy movie.
Nice.
Oh.
Did you have the pizza?
Oh, deep cut.
Did you have the pizza?
No, I had other things.
The Goofy movie pizza is legendary, and then Prince wrote that song at the end
I did not.
that the guy sings, "Eye to Eye."
When you listen to each other's eyes, never be fun.
I don't know that I've seen the Goofy movie.
Oh my God! I wore it out
I love that movie.
on VHS. It's a good one. It's on my Disney Plus. We can watch it after this. I'm gonna make you sit there and watch the whole thing and take notes. There's gonna be a quiz. So Taylor, there's another award that you won recently that I just wanted to get kind of the backstory on.
Won or was nominated for?
Which one?
Where did you present at most recently? You presented the award for Best Male Performer. What award show was that?
Oh, at the Fannies. That was in
Fannies.
That's the word I couldn't come
in
up
Chicago.
Chicago, where the Pope's from.
Chicago.
with. Isn't that
Pope from
interesting?
Chicago.
That's such an interesting crossover too. So, because living in St. Louis, you don't have the opportunity, I guess, to like bump shoulders with a lot of your peers as often as if you lived in Silver Lake or something, right? So like how did you get linked up with that? And then is that a fun experience getting to see everybody, or like what's the deal?
Yeah, no, I love seeing everybody. I think it's super cool. I am lucky enough that so the Fanny Awards was part of Exotica, and I usually travel with them. I am very lucky that they decided to sign little old me up with them to travel
in New Jersey.
Really?
And yeah, Jersey loves me. I love Jersey back. They're fantastic. But yeah, I travel with them to Miami, Chicago, Jersey, and DC, and so I get to see all the homies there, just hang out with them. I get to see like a bunch of people that I've worked with, a bunch of people that I'm friends with at this point, and I also get to meet a bunch of fans. And it's cool because like now it's gotten to a point where the same fans will come every year and they'll wait in line to see me again. Yeah, but that's how I got to present. I think
this past year too.
The AVNs.
I manifested that for her because I did ask to go. I said, "Can I do your hair for the AVNs so I can also be an attendee?"
Oh,
no, we didn't go this year. No.
We did not. We skipped. I think I was nominated. I don't remember. I think it was Expos and AVN, and I think we skipped both of them this year because I was tired.
You were wore out.
Yeah, normally we go to like I'll travel a lot. You would think I would see people a lot less because I moved back to the Midwest back compared to when I was in Cali, but I'm the same amount of homebody that I was when I lived 10 minutes down the street from everyone. So
that's really nice.
I still see them about the same whenever I go and visit because I have a family and stuff, and I'm a big family person. So I'm home a lot.
Work-life balance. That's really awesome that you've been able to find that and then be able to travel as well and keep in touch. That's something that's like hard for me to like think about. Like I'm like in the music industry as far as like connecting, like it's expensive to move to these places, and so I need to like connect and network with people, and so to be able to make those relationships and maintain them is, I think, special.
So when you get booked to go to Prague, or you get booked to go present an award at the Fannies or something, is that all done directly through you, through your website, or through Instagram? Like,
do you have an agent?
I represent myself. It's just through me. They just call me, text me, call me, beat me if you want to reach me.
Have you done a Kim Possible?
Absolutely.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
So
I've got
Link in the description.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's about to be revamped because I actually got a communicator made that talks to Wade in live time.
Whoa.
So that one's going to be pretty cool. But that one will be redone soon.
And do you have any appearances coming up? I know you mentioned something locally in October, but what are some things that are coming up for you?
Yeah, I'm let's see. I will be, what's the next thing? I'll be at San Diego Comic-Con. I will be at Dragon Con in Atlanta, Georgia. I'll be at GalaxyCon St. Louis. I'll be at Exotica New Jersey and Exotica DC, and I'll probably hop into TwitchCon for a little bit before I hop over to Vegas. But yeah, it's a lighter year this year, but I'll be at a few places to.
Lighter? That sounds like really busy.
I'm about to say that would wear me out.
Scheduling appointments is pretty much scheduled around her travel schedule.
Understandable.
Anything like that.
Have you ever done the Comic-Con in Memphis?
I have not. I've actually never been to Memphis.
I have a friend there, Derek. He always does Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Yeah, he was in
like
the Air Force.
The good Sonic. Yeah. Oh, okay.
And he's like middle-aged. So not necessarily the same line of work, but he loves Sonic the Hedgehog, let me tell you. So my thing is, when you're in between, like, if you know you're shooting, like, physically, like, ahead of time, diet, exercise, whatever, hydration, sleep amount, how do you prepare for that? Is it different than a normal day?
Yes. It is different for sure. As far as, so like if I'm doing content creation day, I get up about 6:30, get ready. I take my family where they got to go, whatever. And then I do messages on my pages. Then I schedule out all my content. And then I usually film. And then right after filming, I do content for all the social medias. I schedule them out for the next day. Then I hit messages again. Then I usually will cook dinner I'll pick everybody up, cook dinner, put them all to bed. Then I hit messages again. So each content creation day is usually completely stacked. I only take 30 minutes for lunch and 30 minutes for dinner. Other than that, I work from about 6:30 to about 11 o'clock at night every day, Monday through Friday at least. And then if I'm shooting mainstream, it's usually about a 15 and a half, 16-hour day. So I would get up, I would eat breakfast every day. I have the same breakfast so that I make sure I don't have indigestion on set. So I get up, I have a strawberry acai lemonade from Starbucks, and then I have a half of a banana bread, and then I would go to set. I would get my makeup done, get my hair done. Usually I will touch it up myself in the bathroom, make sure I'm ready, and then I would have to take a shower on set before I see everybody, brush my teeth, do all the hygiene stuff, and then I start shooting with everyone. And then it just depends on who you're working for, but it ends up being about anywhere between 8 to 12 hours worth of shooting on set before we get a cum shot. And then we finish it, and then I take a shower, and then then I drive home, and I usually get like Taco Bell.
Nice,
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, that's it. What is your
treat?
You know what? Yeah. This is something we do talk about. What do you like to get at Taco Bell?
I like a chicken quesadilla with an extra side of creamy jalapeno sauce.
Because the sauce is what makes those quesadillas good.
Yeah.
Sauce
I mean, I
is
love
good.
a quesadilla anyway.
Quesadilla is
but the quesadilla sauce.
catalyst.
Yeah, it's the whole
I don't like the
reason.
sauce.
Okay. Emma doesn't
Oh,
like the
really?
sauce.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh my God, I need
also
the
have
sauce.
not been a Taco Bell person until the past few years.
You know what I've realized when I'm on summer vacation right now? When I'm not working, I don't eat Taco Bell at all.
Oh, really?
There's some kind of correlation
There's
between
food in
Taco
the
Bell
house.
and employment. We got food at home. It's because I'm at home, and I have never stooped as low, I don't think, as to having Taco Bell delivered.
No, I've never hit that point. But anytime I'm drunk, I want Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Definitely.
It's like I want
Too
to.
spicy.
Yeah.
Drunk food. I'm too white.
I need it.
Yeah, Emma doesn't like spicy.
I don't like it. I'm trying.
So the thing that you mentioned a couple times that some people don't know what it is that I want to talk about. Number one, you're not on OnlyFans?
I am.
Oh, you are? Okay. Is that what this
I
first
am.
one is? I'm just looking at your link tree right now.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
It's exclusive.
But because I didn't know if there was a difference between OnlyFans, Loyal Fans, and Fansly as a creator, if you had a preference or a choice as to going. I don't want to say spread yourself out in this context. If you
Diversify.
I didn't know if there was
she said cum shot. I think we can go. There
That's
now.
right.
We're
She
far enough
started
in.
it.
Yeah.
She started it.
Sorry.
It's okay.
No,
We're
please,
there.
thank you.
They're nervous
Finishing
too.
scene.
Thank you.
But if there was a difference between the platforms, because the thing that I understand is that messaging is really where a huge part of the income is in those sorts of platforms, the one-on-one messaging.
I would say so, yeah. They're all different. It depends kind of what you're into. I know that, like, for me, I do the best on OnlyFans. I have the most follow through on there, and OnlyFans is the trustworthy, like, website to clientele. You know what I mean? Like, everybody hears OnlyFans. Like, you hear OnlyFans, you think porn, which is funny as shit because OnlyFans is like, we also have cooks on here. And we have people that play cards, and you're like nobody's there
Patreon
for
and OnlyFans
literally
merge, it's just going to be
if I saw somebody do like a cooking thing like on TikTok and they're like, just go to my OnlyFans for more content, I'd be like, are you going to fuck your food?
Yeah.
You're about to fuck your
food. Are you naked cooking?
Yeah.
Right. Like what's going on?
Cooking bacon? Because that's something that would be for some people, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Am I going to see somebody eat that off of you?
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, like they're pretty similar. But I know like Loyal Fans has a lot more kink on there, and I know Fansly kind of does too. So if you're like more, but then there's like
you mentioned Sniffle.
Slushy.
Sex
Panther.
Sniffle sounds awful. That's a terrible name for an adult.
Sniffle sounds like a gay app.
Well, that's what Sniffle sounds like you got to be gay and you got to have a sinus infection. I'm looking for somebody who can't hear.
Never heard of it.
I'm looking for somebody who can hear who can't hear out of their left ear and breathe out of their right nostril. Can you do me a favor? Can you dress up like Kim Possible and take some Dayquil? Follow me on Sniffles. If you're an adult film content creator and you have the sniffles, call me. Let's collab. 1-800-SNIFFLES. That's even the right number of letters, you monster.
Oh my god.
So Slushy is different. Is it a different format, or it's just or different interaction space, or it's just?
Yeah, it's basically porn TikTok.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like you scroll. You know, there's like it's the same as TikTok, but it's porn.
9x16. It's like vertical.
How is that different from Redfin?
It's not super different, but it's more monetized.
Redfin sounds like realty.
Yeah,
I know. I thought Redfin was going to sell the house next door.
Redfin's like Red Gifts.
Yeah, that one.
Sex.com.
Yeah.
Sex.com.
That's another one.
I've been looking like
something about Taylor turns Emma into somebody's mom. She's like, "What? the guy from that movie. What's that website where they'll send you diapers every week?
What's wrong with you?
Why don't you put that bicycle on eBay?"
I'm falling on myself too high this time.
Did
it to myself.
That's what it is. It's and so
okay, I've been dying to ask this question. This is from the Catholic Shame Corner over here. You said that you go and you hang out with your homies or you leave your work mode. How do you just go back to like looking at these people that you just saw the inside of their asshole? Like you do all these like these like crazy things, and then you're just like, hey, what's up, Steve? It's good to see you again. From the Catholic perspective, I'm like, I don't ever want to see you again after what you just did.
I mean, it's so weird actually, because I feel like you just don't even notice it anymore. It's like, I don't know, like one of my closest friends, there's like a few, but one of them I can think of is Rebel Rider. She is like the queen of anal. Like, actually, most of my friends are. I don't do anal. I just don't. But anyway, so she was doing a scene with one of my best friends, Ray, Triple X, and they were in a hotel room, and they were in like a blow-up bathtub, and there was a bunch of little ball pit balls, and Ray was shoving ball pit balls up Rebel's ass, and then they were playing cannonball noises, and she was shooting them back out at her. And we're all sitting in a diner in New Jersey talking about all this shit, and then Ray's like, yeah, and then I shoved my foot up some guy's ass, and the old lady's like, are you guys ready for your order? And I was just like, oh my God, like.
That's so funny. That reminds me of, go ahead.
Yeah, these girls are like the most innocent look. I mean, you would think I'm like the deviant because I look like a deviant, but they like are so innocent. They walk around in like tutus and shit, and then they're like shoving ball pit balls up each other's ass, and I'm like, regular Thursday, what are we watching? What are we eating for dinner? Like, you guys want to go to the movies? Like,
that's always been the hardest thing with the ball pit is even a normal ball pit that's not being used in that capacity, you're supposed to clean all the balls individually.
Sure, yeah.
There's no way.
There's no
What's
way.
like?
You're
What
so-
are some of the like craziest scenes that you have heard of that you can talk about? And we're far enough in. I think we can cut some of
Yeah.
this if
Oh,
we need to.
no, yeah, we'll be fine.
Put it behind a paywall.
That I've heard of. I mean, heard of.
I
There's
think
so
the
many
question is
things.
that like a friend of yours from the industry, something wild that they did that was maybe unexpected to you, that you didn't think of that.
I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but Rebel wants to shoot with my husband, and she said, I want to shoot with you. And I was like, go off. And she was like, I'm going to stick my hand in my asshole, and I'm going to jack your dick off with my hand in my asshole. And I looked at him, I was like, God damn, you got to do that. Like, you're never going to get that offer again. Like, how could you say no? Like, you're not going to get that from me, dude. I can't even like put a finger in there without being like,
Yeah.
Her whole hand, like, you're going to jack him off with your asshole? Good for you, dude. That's cool. Like,
That is beautiful.
That's crazy.
That's wild. That's art.
Art. That's art.
Because that's what I'm noticing that I wanted to ask you about is that when somebody is creating something unique that they're excited about, there's a spark in them that you can identify, right? And so there was a guy, Pierce Paris, I think, or Paris Pierce or something, who him and his producer friend came up with the idea for the butt putt, where he would hold a shot glass in his rectum, and he would catch a golf ball that his friend hit with a putter, and it was wildly successful as a clip, and you could just see they felt like they just invented the airplane. It was like the Wright brothers had just come up with, what if we took the car and went like this?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Which is how the airplane was invented.
Yeah.
So do you get to identify and enjoy that spark of creativity in the process?
Yeah, I think it's really cool. Like, the thing is, like, I don't know, we're so normal and boring, behind the camera.
Yeah.
Like, we're pretty normal. Like, I've hung out with all these people that do the craziest shit, and I've done some crazy shit. Like, for sure. Like, I've done some things that, like, I never do any porn that I would be ashamed of later in life. Like, I don't ever want to look at myself later and go, what the fuck was wrong with you? But I've done some weird shit for sure. But like, at the end of the day, I still like to just dress up like Adam Sandler basically and sit on my couch and eat ramen and watch TV, So it's like, but the job is so cool because you do get to see everybody have that like spark of passion for their job, especially like on the content creation side, because if they're making it, a lot of the times they're probably enjoying like a lot of the things that they get to create along the way, and you get to see how excited they get about them.
That's so cool.
So
my best friend was really truly inspired by this porn that he had seen, where it was a woman with a gaping asshole, and they put Fruit Loops and milk in there. And
oh my God, I bet you that was Rebel because she did that.
That's awesome. He was literally.
She's also made pancakes in there. That's just crazy.
That's crazy too. But like, my friend brought it up where he was like, "This shit gets me hard so fast. Like, this is like this is my go-to."
Yeah.
And so following up on my question from earlier, how long until Fruit Loops is using that to advertise Fruit Loops?
I mean, you gotta stop marketing. You gotta stop marketing it to kids for breakfast. You have to start marketing it to adults who
People
used to
that
eat
used
that.
to be children.
Used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's probably.
Do you ever get the opportunity
Lower
to
your
partner with
cholesterol and get off?
Exactly.
Do you ever get the opportunity to partner with a brand?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All the time.
Because that's my thing. Once you step in the door of we're advertising with adult film creators, it's like it's got to be like no holds barred.
She did get asked to do promo for a hair curler, and she was like,
"No way."
I don't think I'm the face.
I've got added to like I go to my mailbox every week, and sometimes I get like makeup. I'm actually about to do a makeup one because I thought it would be really funny to be like, I'm gonna try my mascara. I'm gonna go on a date, and then it's gonna be like, and then be like, up to you. But yeah, it went good. But like, there's a lot of brands. Actually, I had a whole back when I used to wear this all the time. Back in the day. Don't judge me though.
I would never.
No,
I am.
I used to wear
unless it's Skechers. If you pull out a pair of Skechers, I'm calling the police.
I run so fast. But I used to wear this like all the time without anything underneath. I would wear this. and it was all the time. And I actually got pretty close to getting my own clothing brand from a local.
We got to make that happen. We're going to manifest that for you.
We've talked about it still, but it was weird because they had reached out to me and they said, we're really interested in we want you to come see where all of our armament stuff is made. And I was like, okay, it's like in Iowa. And I was like, all right. So I drove out there and I got to see them making all these plates and stuff. And I used to be in the Marine Corps, so it's pretty cool to see it. And I was looking at all this stuff. We were talking about the clothing brand. We were talking about my own armory brand. And we were like, we'll keep in touch. But they actually made me custom plates, level 4 plates that were molded to my boobs.
Nice.
Wow.
So
That's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know where they are right now.
I believe you.
They're curved.
Yeah.
And so they're
That's so cool.
like this.
Plates. Somebody's got to do.
It's metal?
There you go.
It's like a metal plate.
You're like a Lady John Wick. Where you're just
cool.
completely deleting people off of the map. Be a great scene in the movie because the way that this is, you fumble this the way they did nipples on Batman in Batman Forever Hero. Custom molded Kevlar plates. Is it still Kevlar or am I an old person?
I love that idea. I love the action sequences too. The way that she, drills these men's assholes and the whole arm goes up. The way that she, drills these men's assholes and the whole arm goes up through. Maybe she goes through the man to drills these men's assholes and the whole arm goes up through. Maybe she goes through the man.
I wasn't thinking that. That hadn't crossed my mind. But now that you mention it, this is like the Gremlins 2 meeting. Put it in the movie.
We're inspired.
So I guess that is unnecessary. I so appreciate it. But so people that are like, I would love just a creator, a local St. Louis native making her own stuff. Where do you like them to start? I have your link tree pulled up right now. St. Louis native making her own stuff. Where do you like them to start? I have your link tree pulled up right now.
All of them?
I mean, wherever you want. At the end of the day, if you're able, honestly, the best place to actually talk to medias, one-on-one, I just don't have the time because I don't have an agency. I don't have an AI. I just don't have the time because I don't have an agency. Care about my fans. I literally run all this shit myself. Like I said, I get up at 6:30. My whole life, I used to be an auditor, and I used to go work in a cubicle, and now this is my job, and so I never want to task my people that I've become friends with and that I care so much about that have given to me and my family to other people. So in order for me to do that, the only way I can talk to people one-on-one and get to know them is going to be on OnlyFans or Fansly or whatever, the paywall. To do that, the only way I can talk to people one-on-one and get to know them is going to be on OnlyFans or Fansly or whatever, the paywall sites. But if you want to talk to me, and you don't want or can't or whatever it is, you can always hang out with me on Twitch. You can also support me on Instagram, wherever.
Very good TikTok too. I like to drop in on the lives when she pops up on my FYP.
Yeah.
And act like one of her fans.
And I just meant really supporting the content, not even necessarily to you directly, but that's good to know. Also, is there some mainstream stuff that people might have seen that that is out, that people could go find?
Team Ski really well. Yeah. I've had some good. There's some good scenes with reality kings out there. I worked for a couple out there.
Those great because wherever people can find you. So my next question then, you're just people can find you. So my next question then, you're just so industrious with being able to cultivate so industrial for that. Do you see yourself building that into something involving doing? What do you see of that? Do you see yourself, building that into something involving other creators, or do you have a vision? Other creators, or do you have a vision in mind?
What's your
I have a
5-year
couple
plan?
things. And at the end, I've been looking at potentially buying like a building or something to create a, I want to create a studio in the building or something to create a, I want to create a studio in the Midwest. I feel like there's a lot of, and I want the studio to kind of be different. I want it to be creator run. I don't want it to be like you were having to rent out an Airbnb that's going to kick you out if they find out you do porn. So I want that. I think that would be really great. Something that I could do for my career.
Evan Stone is still making films. So.
Oh, yeah.
He's still working. Yeah. He gave me my birthday.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's still working. Yeah. He gave me my birthday spankings last year. Yeah.
That's actually
He's still working. Yeah. He gave me my birthday spankings last year.
Wow.
That's actually how we bonded off the bat, Evan Stone. So you can thank him for that. Our friendship
Wow.
developed into.
And
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if we ever touched on. Was there a point where you had to cross the threshold from doing whatever you were doing before to, I'm actually making a go at this adult content thing? Like, was there a switch that flipped, or was it more gradual?
Yeah, so I never thought I would do porn. Like, I was actually a prude for sure before I did porn. Funny enough. But I was dating this guy, and he made a Twitter account of naked pictures of me while we were naked, and I was like, what the fuck? Because, like, obviously, what the fuck, Right, what the fuck, So I was like, all right. Because, like, obviously, what the fuck,
Yeah. What the fuck?
Right, what the fuck, So I was like, all right. So then I, took fuck, So I was like, all right. So then I, took it, and I was, scrolling on there. And I was like, oh my God, these people really do like to see me naked. That's pretty cool. Like, who'd have fucking
It sounds like
thought?
you were pitched it. Like, hey, I did this behind your back and it's kind of fucked up, but look how much your attention you're getting.
Right. Like, aren't you happy? It was like, fucking no. Like,
right.
But, I don't know. I ended up breaking up with the guy, but then I changed the Twitter account and I kept it. And I was like, this is cool.
Right.
And then,
How much of the job is still Twitter?
I don't like Twitter at all anymore.
Yeah.
Personally, it used to be the shit. Like, Twitter used to be awesome, but it's changed. So I don't personally like it that much. Yeah, Twitter used to be awesome. Like, I used to fucking love it. Everybody actually convinced me to make it OnlyFans on there back when that all happened. They were like, you should make one, and I was like, yeah, right. And they were like, make it. It's like, all right, if I make enough money for Olive Garden, I guess it'll be worth it. And so then I made one, and then the crossing point was I was secretly doing OnlyFans, and I was going to my corporate job because I worked at a pretty reputable accounting firm, and I would finish all my tasks for the corporate job, and then I'd be bored as shit, and they wouldn't let me go home. So I'd be sitting there in the office just OnlyFans. And then it got to a point where it was a running joke in my friend group that OnlyFans was my real job. And my auditing job was my hobby because I was making more on OnlyFans and I enjoyed it more. And I came to the agreement with my husband that if I made a certain amount for a certain amount of time and it proved to be a stable job, that I could leave corporate. And then, it became stable. It was good. And so I told corporate, I said, hey, I was up for a promotion. So I said, I want to work from home. They said, you got to come in 1 day a week. And I said, I quit. And that was it.
Yeah. I think just as we start to close out, I want to say to people who say that OnlyFans is evil or it's not a real thing, but you're obviously not a real thing, but you're obviously an empowered and independent creator, and that's your primary platform. So your message to people like yourself that maybe want to be independent and creative and want to be sex positive, or
even anybody wanting to get into the industry,
right?
Because you and I have discussed so many times about how there are very predatory people in the industry still, and you kind of have to know how to spot them in order to keep your professionalism going and yourself safe as well.
I would say if you're joining the industry, mainstream content creation, whatever, I would say, you need to do what makes you happy. All right. You don't need to do this job because you need to do this job. You want to do this job because you like to do this job. And if you're doing this job, I would stay sober as much as you possibly can, because I see a lot of the times people in power like to bring party favors around. And I think it's to have a way to manipulate, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
And I would try to stay sober, and if you feel like you need to medicate because you don't like what you're doing, you don't like how you're putting yourself out there, Starbucks is hiring, there's other places to go. And if you ever need anybody to talk to, there's a lot of us that have been in sex work for a long time that are happy to be there for you. But before you decide sex work, I think you really need to think about the weirdest motherfucker finding your shit. Like, you don't need to worry about your dad finding your porn. You need to worry about your youth pastor's best friend's brother who's going to tell your aunt that he found your porn.
And you and I have discussed too how, when we first met, you finally kind of warmed up and told me what you did for a living. And I was like, no shit, I used to want to do that. And then we had that discussion of like, well, why didn't you? That's so crazy. Cause like, I never wanted to. And, for me, like the voyeurism aspect is wonderful, but a lot of the reason that I was searching to go into that industry is because I had a lot of unhealed trauma that I was not aware of at the time, and viewed sex in a very different way than I do now. And especially a level of intimacy. It's not to say that I wouldn't. I think I'm aged out at this point. I am older than you, so don't say
Taylor's
anything,
about to have a career posthumously as well.
Yeah, she's in it. Also, anyway. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of those things where it's not a priority to me. I wouldn't poo-poo it. I don't have an OnlyFans. Taylor does. She tells me I would do, which makes me feel good. You know what I mean? A pretty person telling me I do well.
For sure.
Feel good. I am the child of a narcissist.
Do you ever have the opportunity to like teach or advocate for people that are starting out on how to manage all this different stuff successfully?
Yeah, I mean, I do. Technically, I'm supposed to charge for coaching and shit, but a lot of the times I just give advice because I wish I had a book of what to do, because I just figured this shit out literally on my own, just kind of trial and error. I am a nerd, so I did a lot of research into like algorithms and stuff like that, and I just kind of figured it out. But nobody taught me a lot of things that I wish I would have known. And so the scary thing is sex work. There's a new person joining sex work every single day. Okay. And I don't know the fucking analytics on it, but I would say at least 50% are fucking 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times they, especially now, because porn is so glorified right now, we're kind of going through a new sexual liberation moment where like every pretty girl you see on the internet, do you automatically assume she has an OnlyFans? Yes. You scroll on TikTok, you see Emma on TikTok, you're like, where's her link? Automatically, like you're
so much fun, you don't even understand.
Like you just do, like literally, it's the thing. And at the end of the day, like, I wish that a lot of people knew that even if they were in sex work, they still deserve a lot of respect. But a lot of these girls don't know that, even though they are in sex work. They think since I'm a sex worker, people only like me because I have a giant rack or this and that. And that's not the truth, because that's only one interesting thing about you. Like, yeah, I do porn. That's the least interesting thing about me, believe it or not. There are so many more interesting things.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, when my friends introduced me to someone new, I'm going to go out tonight. Guarantee you. Hey, this is Taylor. She's a porn star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a novelty. Yeah.
It's a novelty. I'm the token porn star of my friend group, and I'm not mad at them. But at the end of the day, when you're 18 years old, when you're 18 years old and that's all people say about you, you think that's all you're good for.
Right.
I had an identity crisis for a while because I literally was like, oh my God, who am I when the camera's turned off? And I had to like have a come into Jesus with myself about it.
Well, but we've talked off camera, obviously, but about just in general, how protective I am of you, because I know that about you, and I know that you do have a certain level of fame that is not what people are used to, and I don't want people to take advantage of you, because I do know you on a personal level, and you are such a vibrant, wonderful, intelligent, business-minded, impressive human being outside of, I get railed on camera for money. You know what I mean? Like there's so much more to you. Do you think
you get railed on camera for money?
Sometimes.
Sorry.
Do you think if there is a form of legalization with adult content or sex work, is there an opportunity in the future for them to have you guys unionize and have a lot more safeguards in place for people?
We do have a union.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Ooh,
We have a union.
Yeah, because what are the levels of like of the legality of it? You know, because like it seems legal to make porn.
It's not illegal to make it.
It's illegal to pay money for sexual services, right? We're talking about like
Unless there's a video camera on.
unless there's a video camera on.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Why aren't more people?
I gotta
doing
see
that?
it. I gotta see it.
Are there people doing that?
It's illegal if I can't see it.
Are there people producing content just to be in it?
Like in porn?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I could literally show you my entire, probably every fourth message request on Instagram right now is like, can we collab? You're not a creator. I'm fucking you with a camera on. It's not a collab if there's it's not going anywhere.
Especially if there's no story like we were talking about before. It's like, you better come with a costume, motherfucker. You're going to slide in my DMs. You're not even going to pay to send me an official message on one of my preferred platforms, and you want to collab because you bought a Blackmagic Cinema 6K on Craigslist for $900.
If you're in my DMs trying to say that, I'm going to need you to dress up as Rumpelstiltskin from Once Upon a Time. Contacts, the voice, the teeth, the glitter skin, all of it.
That's what I would do.
No dice.
Listen, I'll collab with you. We can have intercourse on camera. Not you and me. I'm talking about hypothetically in the DMs. I would never. Just because we've been friends for too long. And
no, the feeling's mutual.
Right.
I feel like
offending anybody.
Yeah. But what I would say to that guy is, okay, yeah, but you got to let me produce the whole thing, and I got to have.
You get to do whatever I say.
I'm going to write the script.
You'd be surprised though. They think they're slick.
Yeah.
You know, there'll even be guys that they think they're so slick that they will go and they will buy an account, and then they'll buy followers, and then they'll be like, look at me. Now can we collab? And it's like, no, I still don't have any references from you. Yeah. Like, I don't know anybody who's
I
worked
know.
with you.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I don't really work with men that often, so
yeah,
I just don't.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's got to be so hard to. I mean, all the vetting and whatnot you have to do just to filter those guys out.
Well, it seems like every 6 months there's a new male star that's being outed for being predatory.
There's one. I just got a text before we started this one, and it was a different guy that I told you about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
last week when I saw it's a different guy. I mean, it's always something new.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at the end of the day, I got all these people that are wanting to work with the dude sitting on my couch upstairs, so I'm gonna go work with him. You know?
Yeah.
And he doesn't charge me a fee. I just gotta cook him dinner. You know?
That seems so reasonable. That seems so reasonable to me. The one thing you mentioned is, you know, some people are getting in it. Half the people getting into the industry are 18 at the time. Do you think that's too young?
I think it's up to them. You know, it's not my call, because at the end of the day, you know, it's your choices, right? And what if your parents just kicked you out, and who the fuck am I?
Yeah.
You know, like they changed the law in Florida to where you couldn't be a stripper, an exotic dancer, whatever you want to call it, until you were 21. Mm-hmm. Think about all those 18-year-olds that have been working there, 19, 20-year-olds that have been working and doing this for however to pay their bills, and now they're out of a job because somebody got
Did
involved.
they have to quit, or were they grandfathered in? Was it like
No,
the
I'm sure
law?
they had to quit.
Nope, they had to quit. Yeah. And at the end of the day, if it's illegal for you to, if you're doing this already and then somebody takes your job away, you're not protecting these people.
Yeah.
What you're doing is you're actually doing the opposite, and you're creating more harm, because now they're going to go do it illegally in an unsafe environment to continue paying their bills.
Yeah.
They're not going to be in the safeguard of the dance club anymore.
Well, that's
now they're going to be
for
offering to do shit on the street.
Yeah,
like
for how popular Miami is as a porn hub.
right.
No plug, but you know, like there's a lot.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, plastic is the vibe down there.
For sure. Yeah.
Because I would love to get you in front of Congress now that we've talked about this.
Have you ever
would
considered that,
hate
getting
me.
into kind of any form of any kind of action bill or anything like that, teaming up?
Yes and no. The problem for me is that I do have small little minions that run around my house.
Sure.
So
But it's not off the table for the future.
It's not off the table for the future.
I'm going to go to law school. We're going to team up.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
going to
Nice.
law school.
Nice.
Yeah.
Emma's going to go to law
I-
school in the
Firm.
meantime, and then 2030, we're hitting Congress.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I love this. I would love to do this again sometime. I'm just really impressed with the scope of your operation and the fact that you came to the conclusion to do this yourself, and then that you can manage all of these different pieces. It really seems like you kind of get to do the best of all of it, because you have the freedom to kind of pick the things you want to do, and you have the 3 different lanes, we can call them avenues, of how to do them. So your Linktree and stuff and where people can find you is going to be in the description of the episode, which should be out within the week and whatnot. But anything else you want to leave on? I so appreciate you being so generous with your time.
No, I'm just happy to be here. I appreciate you guys. I think it was cool to be on your podcast. So thank you for thinking of me and having me on.
Absolutely.
Cool. I owe
Yeah.
you now.
Yeah, please. I'll send you both to lunch at Good Company or something.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
You got to try my Brussels Caesar salad.
We haven't gone down there. Normally she grabs Soul Taco.
Oh yeah, Soul Taco is good too.
I do. I always get Soul Taco on the
Not
way
a sponsor, but I'm open to, if Soul Taco wants to partner with.
Collab, maybe.
Maybe I don't want to. What would I do with a burrito?
Not you.
Oh, thank God.
God.
I could do a lot of things with a burrito.
Yeah. That kimchi slaw just right on the chest.
I do like the kimchi. I get the bogey bowl with the little
bulgogi.
egg on it, the cracking egg on it.
Taylor, thank you so much.
Taylor Gunner on
thank you, guys.
all platforms. Taylor Gunner, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys
Thank
next week.
you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.